Reduced insulin levels play a central role in how fasting supports fat loss and overall metabolic health. Insulin is a hormone produced by the pancreas that regulates the movement of nutrients, primarily glucose and fatty acids, into cells for energy or storage. After a meal, especially one rich in carbohydrates or sugars, insulin levels rise to help transport glucose from the bloodstream into cells. While this process is essential for energy management, chronically elevated insulin levels can encourage the storage of energy in fat tissue and make it more difficult for the body to access stored fat for fuel. When a person fasts, whether for several hours or across a defined time window, insulin levels begin to decline. Lower insulin signals to the body that it is not currently receiving incoming calories and therefore must shift to using stored energy to meet metabolic demands. Initially, the body taps into glycogen, which is the stored form of glucose found in the liver and muscles. Once glycogen levels begin to decline, the body increasingly turns to stored fat as an energy source. This metabolic shift is a key mechanism by which fasting supports fat loss. The reduction in insulin during fasting also allows other hormones to function more effectively. For example, when insulin levels are low, hormones such as glucagon, growth hormone, and norepinephrine become more active. Glucagon works in opposition to insulin by signaling the liver to release stored glucose, ensuring a steady supply of energy. Growth hormone increases fat oxidation and helps preserve lean muscle tissue, which is critical for maintaining metabolic rate. Norepinephrine enhances the breakdown of stored fat, making it more readily available to be used as fuel. Together, these hormonal shifts create a favorable environment for fat mobilization and energy efficiency. Consistently reducing insulin through fasting periods can improve the body's insulin sensitivity over time. Insulin sensitivity refers to how effectively cells respond to insulin's signal to absorb glucose. When cells are highly sensitive to insulin, the body requires less insulin to maintain stable blood sugar levels. Improved insulin sensitivity not only reduces the likelihood of fat storage, but also decreases the risk of developing metabolic disorders such as type 2 diabetes. In other words, the benefits of lower insulin extend beyond fat loss and influence long-term metabolic health. Timing and duration of fasting play a significant role in how much insulin decreases. Short periods of fasting, such as 12 to 14 hours overnight, can already lower insulin sufficiently to initiate some fat mobilization. Longer fasting windows, such as 16 to 18 hours or alternate day fasting, create a more pronounced decrease in insulin, which further enhances fat burning. Importantly, insulin levels are naturally lowest during the night and early morning, which aligns with the body's circadian rhythm and supports fat metabolism during periods of inactivity. The composition of meals during the eating window also interacts with insulin dynamics. Consuming high glycemic foods or refined sugars can trigger sharp spikes in insulin, counteracting some of the benefits of fasting. Conversely, balanced meals that include proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates produce more moderate insulin responses, supporting sustained fat mobilization when the body returns to the fasting state. This interplay between meal composition and fasting duration highlights the importance of both timing and quality of nutrition in optimizing metabolic outcomes. By lowering insulin levels through fasting, the body is encouraged to shift from energy storage to energy utilization. This shift not only promotes fat loss, but also improves metabolic flexibility, allowing the body to efficiently switch between glucose and fat as fuel sources. Over time, regular periods of reduced insulin help recalibrate the body's hormonal environment, making it easier to maintain healthy body composition and stable energy levels throughout the day. Time-restricted eating is a strategy that focuses not just on what you eat, but on when you eat, and it has profound effects on metabolism, fat loss, and overall health. The concept is simple. All meals are consumed within a specific daily window, typically ranging from 6 to 10 hours, while fasting during the remaining hours. This pattern creates a predictable period during which the body can digest food, absorb nutrients, and then transition into a fasting state that promotes fat metabolism and cellular repair. By aligning eating patterns with the body's natural circadian rhythms, time-restricted eating helps optimize both metabolic efficiency and energy utilization. The circadian rhythm is an internal biological clock that regulates many physiological processes, including hormone release, digestion, and energy expenditure. During the daytime, the body is naturally more active and metabolically prepared to process nutrients. Insulin sensitivity tends to be higher in the morning and early afternoon, meaning cells are more efficient at absorbing glucose from the bloodstream. Eating within the active phase of the circadian rhythm allows the body to handle carbohydrates and calories more effectively, reducing the likelihood of excess fat storage. In contrast, eating late at night, when the body is winding down and insulin sensitivity is lower, can lead to higher post-meal blood sugar levels and increased fat deposition. Time-restricted eating also enhances the natural fasting period overnight. By compressing the eating window, individuals create a longer stretch without calories, allowing insulin levels to drop and the body to transition into fat-burning metabolism. During this fasting period, the body shifts from relying on recently consumed glucose to utilizing stored glycogen and eventually stored fat for energy. The longer fasting period amplifies the hormonal environment that favors fat mobilization, including higher levels of glucagon and growth hormone, both of which support the breakdown of fat and the maintenance of lean muscle tissue. Another benefit of time-restricted eating is its impact on appetite regulation. Consuming food within a consistent window helps synchronize hunger hormones such as ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin, which stimulates appetite, and leptin, which signals satiety, both follow daily rhythms. When meals are eaten at regular times, these hormones become more predictable, reducing excessive snacking and overeating. Over time, the body adapts to this schedule, making it easier to adhere to a structured eating pattern without feeling deprived or overly hungry. Time-restricted eating also interacts with cellular repair mechanisms. Extended periods without food activate processes such as autophagy, where damaged cellular components are broken down and recycled. These processes improve cellular health, reduce oxidative stress, and support long-term metabolic efficiency. By structuring eating periods, the body receives both sufficient nutrients for growth and repair during the feeding window and enough fasting time to engage these restorative processes. Consistency is crucial for maximizing the benefits of time-restricted eating. Irregular eating patterns can disrupt the circadian alignment and reduce the metabolic advantages of fasting. By keeping a consistent eating schedule day after day, the body learns to anticipate nutrient intake, optimize hormone release, and enhance metabolic efficiency. This regularity strengthens circadian rhythms and helps stabilize energy levels, mood, and cognitive performance throughout the day. The timing of the eating window should also be aligned with lifestyle and activity patterns. For example, an eating window that ends in the early evening allows the body to fully digest food before the natural decline in insulin sensitivity that occurs at night. Pairing the eating window with periods of physical activity can further enhance nutrient utilization and fat oxidation. Overall, time-restricted eating works not only by reducing overall calorie intake, but also by leveraging the body's internal timing systems to optimize metabolism, support fat loss, and fasting has a profound impact on hormone regulation, which plays a central role in fat loss, metabolic health, and overall energy balance. Hormones act as messengers that signal the body how to process nutrients, store energy, and mobilize fuel from fat reserves. When a person engages in fasting or time-restricted eating, the hormonal environment shifts in ways that favor fat utilization and improved metabolic efficiency. Understanding these changes helps explain why fasting is more than just a method of reducing calorie intake. It is a tool that influences the body's biology at multiple levels. One of the primary hormonal effects of fasting is the reduction of insulin levels. Insulin regulates blood sugar by signaling cells to absorb glucose from the bloodstream. When insulin is elevated, the body prioritizes storing energy over burning fat. During fasting periods, insulin levels naturally decline, signaling to the body that stored energy can be accessed. This decrease in insulin is essential for initiating fat breakdown, as high insulin levels inhibit the release of fatty acids from fat tissue. By allowing insulin to fall for extended periods, fasting promotes a shift from energy storage to energy mobilization. At the same time, fasting increases the secretion of glucagon, a hormone that works in opposition to insulin. Glucagon signals the liver to release stored glucose and encourages the breakdown of glycogen into usable energy. As fasting continues, glucagon also stimulates lipolysis, the breakdown of stored fat into fatty acids that can be used for energy. This hormonal shift is particularly important for maintaining stable blood sugar levels while the body is in a calorie-free state, allowing energy to be sourced efficiently from fat stores. Growth hormone is another key player that is influenced by fasting. During periods without food, growth hormone levels rise significantly. Growth hormone helps preserve lean muscle mass while supporting fat metabolism. Higher growth hormone levels also increase the mobilization of fatty acids from fat tissue, making them available for energy production. This hormone not only contributes to body composition improvements, but also supports long-term metabolic health and the maintenance of a higher basal metabolic rate. Norepinephrine, a neurotransmitter and hormone, also rises during fasting. Norepinephrine enhances the breakdown of stored fat by stimulating fat cells to release fatty acids into the bloodstream. It also increases energy expenditure by raising heart rate and thermogenesis, which is the production of heat from energy use. This combination of increased fat mobilization and energy expenditure helps the body utilize stored energy more efficiently during fasting periods. Fasting also improves insulin sensitivity over time. When cells respond more effectively to insulin, less of the hormone is needed to maintain normal blood sugar levels. Improved insulin sensitivity reduces the likelihood of excess glucose being stored as fat, stabilizes energy levels, and lowers the risk of developing insulin resistance or metabolic disorders. This enhanced sensitivity complements the effects of fasting on fat mobilization, making it easier for the body to burn stored energy when food is not available. The timing and duration of fasting influence these hormonal effects. Short fasts, such as 12 to 14 hours overnight, already reduce insulin enough to begin shifting the body toward fat utilization. Longer fasts, or time-restricted eating windows that extend fasting to 16 to 18 hours, amplify these hormonal responses. The longer insulin remains low and hormones like glucagon, growth hormone, and norepinephrine remain elevated, the greater the opportunity for fat breakdown and metabolic adaptation. Consistency in fasting patterns strengthens the hormonal response over time. The body adapts to predictable periods without food by optimizing hormone release and energy mobilization. This adaptation not only supports fat loss, but also promotes metabolic flexibility, which is the body's ability to efficiently switch between using glucose and fat for energy depending on availability and demand. By modulating insulin, glucagon, growth hormone, and norepinephrine, fasting creates a hormonal environment that encourages fat utilization, preserves lean tissue, and improves overall metabolic efficiency. These hormonal changes make fasting a powerful strategy, not only for reducing body fat, but also for enhancing long-term health, energy balance, and metabolic resilience. Fasting and time-restricted eating influence brain function and cognitive performance in ways that go beyond simple calorie restriction or fat loss. When the body transitions into a fasting state, it begins to produce molecules called ketones, which are derived from the breakdown of stored fat. These ketones provide an alternative fuel source for the brain, supplementing glucose and allowing neurons to function efficiently even when carbohydrate intake is limited. This metabolic flexibility can improve mental clarity, focus, and sustained cognitive performance, particularly during periods when food is not being consumed. One of the most important ketones produced during fasting is beta-hydroxybutyrate, which serves not only as a fuel source but also as a signaling molecule. Beta-hydroxybutyrate influences gene expression and can enhance the production of neurotrophic factors, which are proteins that support neuron growth, survival, and synaptic plasticity. These changes improve the brain's ability to adapt, learn, and store memories, making fasting a potentially powerful tool for supporting both short-term cognitive performance and long-term brain health. Fasting also influences neurotransmitters in the brain that regulate alertness and mood. Levels of norepinephrine and dopamine can increase during periods without food, which heightens focus, attention, and motivation. This elevation in neurotransmitter activity contributes to a state of heightened mental readiness and can improve reaction time, problem solving, and task performance. In effect, fasting can create a brain state optimized for cognitive efficiency, especially in the hours when the body is not actively digesting food. Another cognitive benefit of fasting is its effect on stress resistance at the cellular level. Periods of calorie restriction or fasting activate pathways that improve cellular resilience and reduce oxidative stress in the brain. This enhances the ability of neurons to resist damage from metabolic stress, toxins, or inflammation. Over time, this process contributes to improved cognitive longevity, better memory function, and a lower risk of neurodegenerative conditions. Fasting may also improve attention and mental clarity by reducing post-meal sluggishness. After eating, particularly meals high in carbohydrates or sugars, blood flow is redirected to the digestive system, and insulin levels rise, which can create a temporary drop in alertness or energy. By spacing meals within a defined eating window or extending fasting periods, the brain avoids these postprandial dips in energy and maintains more consistent mental performance throughout the day. Time-restricted eating further enhances these effects by aligning food intake with the body's circadian rhythm. Brain function naturally fluctuates over the course of the day, with higher alertness and cognitive capacity occurring during the daytime and reduced energy in the evening. By consuming food earlier in the day and fasting later in the evening, the brain receives signals that reinforce these natural cycles, supporting optimal alertness, memory consolidation during sleep, and mental performance when active. Fasting also encourages metabolic flexibility in the brain. This means the brain can efficiently switch between glucose and ketones as fuel sources depending on availability. Greater metabolic flexibility allows neurons to maintain energy production even during periods of low glucose, which can improve sustained focus, learning capacity, and overall cognitive resilience. Additionally, fasting may reduce inflammation in the brain, which is associated with cognitive decline and impaired attention. By lowering circulating inflammatory molecules, fasting creates a more favorable environment for neurotransmission and synaptic function. This reduction in inflammation contributes to clearer thinking, improved decision-making, and enhanced mental stamina during periods of cognitive demand. When fasting is combined with consistent sleep, regular physical activity, and balanced nutrition during eating periods, the cognitive benefits are amplified. Together, these factors support sustained mental energy, sharper focus, and the ability to perform complex tasks efficiently. Over time, regular fasting and time-restricted eating can train the brain to operate more effectively, improving both daily cognitive performance and long-term brain health consistency. And lifestyle factors play a critical role in maximizing the benefits of fasting and time-restricted eating for both fat loss and overall health. While fasting creates favorable hormonal and metabolic conditions, these effects are greatly influenced by daily habits, sleep patterns, physical activity, and the quality of food consumed during eating windows. Establishing consistency ensures that the body adapts to predictable periods of fasting and feeding, allowing hormonal systems, circadian rhythms, and energy metabolism to align effectively with the eating schedule. Sleep is one of the most important lifestyle factors influencing the effectiveness of fasting. Adequate, high-quality sleep helps regulate hormones such as insulin, cortisol, ghrelin, and leptin, all of which interact with hunger, satiety, and energy utilization. Poor sleep can increase ghrelin, the hormone that stimulates appetite, while decreasing leptin, which signals fullness. This imbalance may lead to increased hunger, making adherence to fasting windows more difficult and potentially reducing the metabolic benefits of fasting. On the other hand, consistent, restorative sleep enhances the body's ability to respond to fasting signals, improve insulin sensitivity, and optimize fat mobilization. Physical activity also interacts synergistically with fasting. Regular movement increases energy expenditure and enhances insulin sensitivity, making the body more efficient at utilizing both glucose and fat for energy. Exercise stimulates the breakdown of stored fat, and when performed in a fasted state, it can amplify the body's reliance on fat as a fuel source. Both aerobic and resistance training improve metabolic flexibility, allowing the body to switch smoothly between energy substrates depending on availability. Consistently combining exercise with structured fasting periods strengthens these adaptations over time. Hydration is another key factor that supports fasting and overall metabolic function. Even mild dehydration can reduce cognitive performance, energy levels, and physical stamina. During fasting, water and non-caloric beverages help maintain physiological processes, support detoxification, and reduce feelings of fatigue or hunger that can occur in the absence of food. Proper hydration ensures that the body functions efficiently and reinforces the benefits of fasting on energy balance and mental clarity. The quality of nutrition during eating windows significantly influences the effectiveness of fasting and time-restricted eating. Consuming nutrient-dense foods that provide protein, healthy fats, fiber, and complex carbohydrates supports satiety, stabilizes blood sugar, and provides essential micronutrients for metabolic and cellular functions. Meals high in refined sugars or processed foods can spike insulin and partially counteract the metabolic advantages created during fasting periods. A consistent approach to eating nutrient-rich meals helps maintain energy, supports hormonal balance, and maximizes fat utilization. Consistency in fasting schedules is also crucial for entraining the circadian system. The body's metabolic processes follow predictable daily rhythms, with periods of high insulin sensitivity, increased energy expenditure, and hormonal fluctuations aligned with the time of day. By maintaining regular eating and fasting windows, the brain and peripheral organs adapt to a predictable schedule, improving nutrient utilization, fat mobilization, and metabolic efficiency. Irregular eating patterns can disrupt these rhythms, diminishing the benefits of fasting and increasing the risk of metabolic imbalance. Stress management complements fasting and lifestyle consistency. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, which can promote fat storage, disrupt sleep, and interfere with appetite regulation. Incorporating relaxation strategies, mindfulness practices, or moderate physical activity helps maintain stable hormonal environments and enhances the body's responsiveness to fasting-induced metabolic shifts. By integrating consistent sleep, hydration, physical activity, stress management, and nutrient-rich meals with structured fasting or time-restricted eating, the body can fully harness the hormonal, metabolic, and cognitive benefits of these practices. Over time, this consistency trains the body to optimize energy use, improve fat metabolism, and maintain stable alertness, creating a sustainable system for both health and performance. When fasting and time-restricted eating are combined with consistent lifestyle habits, the benefits extend far beyond short-term fat loss. Over time, the body adapts to predictable eating and fasting patterns, improving insulin sensitivity, hormonal balance, and metabolic flexibility. Regular sleep, proper hydration, nutrient-dense meals, physical activity, and stress management all reinforce these adaptations, allowing energy levels, mental clarity, and fat utilization to remain stable. By maintaining consistency, the body and brain operate in harmony with natural rhythms, creating a sustainable framework for long-term health, optimal performance, and overall well-being.